Veterans Day helps me remember why I serve and helps me get together with other veterans and understand, what we've all done.
Well, Veterans Day is a day of gratitude for me because I'm so happy that I'm alive, that I'm on this side of the grass and I can enjoy all the freedoms that I and many others have fought for.
So Veterans Day really, I think, is a celebration of what veterans do for the country, and I really appreciate that people put the effort out to do this. It's a great thing for people who have done it in the past, and it's sort of easy to forget, even for us, some of the things that have happened and some of the really strange things that have happened. So to sort of give acknowledgement of that is I think greatly appreciated.
Oh, it's funny. Veterans Day to me, I'm one of those people that don't put a lot of emphasis on what I've done, over the years. And being a veteran, I have a hard time accepting the thanks from people. I just feel it's a duty that I did and continue to do, unselfishly.
No, I think when service persons, and I mean from all branches, if someone comes up to them and says, thank you for your service, if they're sincere, it's a tribute. It is a genuine tribute.
I always thought it was a little bit awkward because, it's, what am I going to say? Thank you, absolutely, no problem. So I think it's a good gesture, but it's also, I don't know, you said repetitive. I don't know. I mean, I think it for people who really have given and sacrificed. I think they appreciate it.
I don't think it does. I think you get that appreciation, and I don't think it really. I think people still appreciate that. I think the welcome home sometimes is a nice thing, but I never get tired of people telling me that.
No, it doesn't. When I hear that from people, I truly appreciate that.
Everything I took for granted. Everything.
I think, to answer that, I would probably have to say time spent with family. Because once you're gone, you really realize how much you miss that and how important it is in your life.
When I joined and went through OTS, I learned a lot more about the way that the military serves the country and all of the things that we do. And I think I appreciate the impact of that now more than I ever did before that.
I think I didn't understand the sacrifice that veterans made. I think having been in so many years now and been a lot of different places, I think I appreciate more what veterans, I appreciate it more. I mean, you kind of knew about it, but until you actually see it and experience and see what everybody goes through, I think I understand that it's not easy being in the military, and there's some jobs that are easier than others, but everybody's making sacrifices.
It hit home for me when I left to go to Afghanistan in September of 12, when my whole family came down to say goodbye, and I left the next day. And just the weight on your shoulders, knowing that you're leaving for a year, really hits home.
Expected that everything would be taken care of. The military were going to take care of us, and you say, of course I'm going to school. Of course I'm going to have 3 meals a day. Of course I'm going to have a nice warm bed to sleep in at night. And you do take that for granted. You know that someone is there to protect you, but you don't fully grasp it until you get older.
For the last, I would say, several years, I've been a staff officer. So I work on staff at the Pentagon, and so we really get involved in just the bureaucratic paper, very high level stuff and so forth. And sometimes you forget what the actual operational mission is out there.
The Army is all over the world, but it's a small Army.
I think one of the stories that I really enjoy was being in the National Guard's, helping people during hurricanes.
Those of us that served in Vietnam, and it can be recognized if you see the gold background with 3 red stripes, and it's on a lot of things, it's on one of my medals, that would indicate that you were a Vietnam vet.
My husband is in the Guard. He's in the Connecticut Guard, and when he comes home, I get to hear some of the things that are happening to people who are actually going out and deploying, which I haven't done for many years.
I was in Afghanistan 3 years ago for a year, and I met people that I went to high school with. I knew from third parties.
So it's a totally different perspective on things. When he came back from Iraq a few years ago, he sort of brought a lot of that with him.
One of the stories I could talk about is, people being all washed out and had nothing, they had no possessions, and being able to get them out, get them clothing and shelter, and meet them at their worst, knowing we're there to help them, I think was a really good thing, and that's been a very powerful, reminder of why I serve.
Some people wear a baseball type hat and it'll have those 3 images, or it'll say Vietnam veteran. The best thing you could say to that person when you go up to them, and I say this sincerely, welcome home, and say it twice, because they know what that means.
The Army's small. You're always going to find people that you work with, or know somebody that worked with you through somebody else, and the connectivity that service members all over the world have, not just the Army, but Air Force, Marine, and so forth, is there. And that's a tight group.
And you forget sometimes when you're not the one that's over just how much happens and how different it is from life over here.
When they came back, there wasn't a fanfare. There wasn't a ticker tape parade. We had a hard time when we came back.
You're serving citizens, stateside as well as overseas. So it's not all about fighting a war necessarily. That's a big part of what we do, but it's also, in the National Guard, especially serving stateside and helping people in domestic emergencies.